Welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. So, where we last left off, uh, Anji was able to show off her own methods of magic with the power of believing. And you know what I learned from this one? You reap what you sow. Also, I said some more profanity from the last part once again when I got to when I finally got it out of my system. Ah, Cosme, what a piece of shit. And the funny thing is that like 4 episodes in, it's like she like she's just like she hardly gets any like screen time until like that you know certain chapter. And yeah. Angie won the entirety of the whole magic war of the sword, and it just stops from there. I don't know what happened to that afterwards. So there's that. But at the end of the day, she was able to find she not only repent and she acknowledged and apologized and acknowledged. That's all that mattered. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, also, it's usually hard to tell with the whole massacre whether it's some freak accident or magic played into it itself. Okay, that aside of my ramble, let's continue. The stars that should have been sparkling lay not in the sky, but were scattered beneath me. When I realized that the pearl and ruby made a red and white stream, I noticed that it was a vast nighttime scene spread out below. I was in the sky of that nighttime scene, neither standing nor flying, but simply floating. From nowhere in particular, I could hear a clap, clap, clap. A truly dull applause. I know. It's the one who ordered me to go on the journey. Burn Castle. Oh, would you look at that?
おめでとう。
Speak of the devil.
無限の魔女、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。あなたは旅路の末に魔法のすべてを理解したわ。
Seems like it.
ええ。私は今や魔法のすべてを理解した。私は魔女よ。マリアージュ・ソルシエルが生み出した魔法世界を継承した最後の魔女。
More like it's like I still make fun of it and call it the chosen one, but yeah.
あなたにしかベアトリーチェの世界を切り裂けない。魔法を知るからこそそれに抵抗も覚えるわ。魔法は愛と悲しみと怒りでできている。ベアトリーチェがどんなに残酷な魔女であったとしても、その魔法の源泉は全く同じ。だからこそ彼女のその世界を本当はそっとしてあげたい。少なくとも彼女にとってその世界は完成しているのだから。あなたが家族を諦められるならね。
But why?
そう。
That's right.
だから申し訳ないけれど、私は戦わなければならない。
Wait a minute. That's why she wants to leave the world of hers alone. After all, the world will be complete, but at the cost of giving up on her family.
家族を取り戻せるかもしれないわずかの確率にかけて。 魔女となる旅に出たのだから。
So I could bet on the faint chance that I'd be able to take my family back someday.
ベアトリーチェを殺さない限り、あなたには孤独な世界しか存在しない。それを100億のかけらを旅した私が保証する
わ。分かってるわ。同情してる余地なんて私にはないのよ。心を鬼にして彼女の心を切り裂かなくてはならない。
その気持ちが揺るぎないならよかったわ。同じ魔女同士、情が移って志をくじくんじゃないかと心配したわ。
It felt a bit hollow hearing that from a person whose face was almost always expressionless. Burned Castle, the mysterious witch who invited me on this journey. No words.
私、あなたが嘘をついてたんじゃないかと疑ってたことがあったわ。
I get the feeling that you're pulling out a scam.
どうして？
私は1998年のエンジェだから、家族を救ってもそれは1986年のエンジェが救われるだけ。この私が救われるわけじゃない。だから騙されていると思っていたことがあるの。
Yeah, the future Ange is only gonna save the Ange of her alternate self. From what I was told, so no words.
その通り。私はあなたを騙したわ。
でも今は感謝してる。
Oh, okay. Well, at least she admitted it that she deceived her.
だってあなたは私に家族の取り戻し方を結局は教えてくれたもの。
私は何も教えてないわ。それを知ったのだとしたら、それはあなたが魔女として自ら至った境地だわ。それは私のそれとは違う境地。私に理解はできないけれど、もしもそうならばおめでとう。
おめでとう。Congratulations.
私はこのゲームのプレイヤーではなく駒だとあなたは私に言ったわよね。
ええ、言ったわ。
その役割を今こそ完全に理解した。駒に感情はいらない。ただ勝利のために最善を尽くせばいい。
ええ、その通りよ。ゲームは最善手を差し合うものでしょう。躊躇や戸惑いで指し手をおかしくしてたら対戦相手も混乱するわ。
Sorry, Beatrice, but don't hate me. Ushiro Miya Anji still needs her family, so I have the right to fight you so that I can take them back. And you have the responsibility to be challenged by me to a fight. So don't hate me. In exchange, if you do win in this game, I'll give you my blessing as well. Come on, let's go. As the piece I am, it's finally time for my true turn. Sorry, Beatrice. I won't hand Oni-chan over to you. The world whitened. It wasn't white. It was a gold star as bright as can be. There, was the beautiful Ushiromiya family rose garden. However, the flowers on the roses were all gold. The nectar was also gold-colored. The butterflies gathered there were gold as well. This is the Golden Land, the promised land that the witches of Mariage Sorcière had finally been guided to. There, all wishes are granted, and all magic and dreams are born. In that garden of gold roses were two and only two witches. I appeared as an uninvited guest, making that atmosphere tremble with unrest. What was to them a wind of misfortune shook the golden roses. The incredibly beautiful scene formed by the golden rose petals scattered by the wind was clearly something not of this world. The two who had been taking a walk on a path of golden roses noticed me and were surprised.
Ange? ベアとエンジェだ。
どうやってここへ。引き取られよ。
Ange appeared to be like, "What's up?"
わらわはもはやここへは誰も招かぬのだ。
Beato spoke coldly. She seemed like a completely different person from the boldly sneering woman she had once been. She had closed off her heart and shut herself up in a world where she was alone with Maria One-chan. A world where she could always be alone with a friendly Maria One-chan. This is a really colorful background there, with a friendly Maria One-chan lecturing about magic while drinking tea, with no one to hurry them and nothing to hold them back. A world where not a single person who might hurt them existed. Yes, to the two of them, it was a small, perfect universe.
悪いわね。あんたにここに引きこもられちゃ困るのよ。私たちはあんたが戻ってこなきゃゲームが進まないの。
わらわは飽きたからやめたと言った。もうゲームには戻らぬ。
ベアとはね、ずっとここでマリアと一緒にいるの。ここで一緒にお茶を飲んでね、いろいろな遊びを考えるの。エンジェも一緒に遊んでいいんだよ。
マリア、それはならぬと言ったはず。わらわにはそなただけがいればよい。だからそなたもわらわだけがいればよいと言っておくれ。
No words.
ありがとう。マリアをそこまで必要としてくれる人はベアトだけだよ。ならベアトと一緒にいる。二人きりでいい。
マリア、すまぬ。ありがとう。
Beato held Maria tight, even creating a small, warm universe between their joined arms. It was probably the birth of the smallest universe in the world. The smallest universe in the world, which a pair who needed each other could give birth to. No matter how small it was a complete world, but I had to tear it apart. No words.
悪いけど、そういうわけにはいかないの。私はこのマリアージュ・ソルシエルの黄金鏡をぶっ壊しにやってきたわ。
He's like, sorry, but your gatekeeping days are over.
なぜわらわの世界を壊すのか。この世界がわらわとマリア以外の誰に迷惑をかけたというのか。
あんたが初めて 終わらせずにほったらかしたゲームでお兄ちゃんがずっと待たされてる。あんたが席に戻らなくちゃ勝負は永遠に終わらないのよ。
あのゲームにもはやプレイヤーは一人もおらぬわ。バトラは消え去り、わらわもまた消え去り、ここにいる。あのゲームはもはや終わったのだ。
終わってない。あんたの始めたゲームでしょ。最後まできっちり責任を持って終わらせなさい。バトラを打ち負かし、あなたが本当に望んだ世界を生み出すか、あなたが打ち負かされ、あなたの魔法に飲み込まれた全てを解放するか、しっかり最後まで責任を取りなさい。
ダメだよエンジェ。ベアとはこの世界でマリアと永遠に二人きりで過ごすの。マリアもベアとさえいれば他には何もいらないの。ここでは全ての願いが叶う。全てがある。
This golden land is made up of nothing more than the crystallization of Beatrice's and Maria Onechan's thoughts. To drag Beato out of this world, I have to destroy it. I will destroy this golden land, which must be a final peaceful world in Beatrice's eyes.
お姉ちゃん、それは違う。この黄金鏡は嘘つきだわ。お姉ちゃんの本当に叶えたい願いを叶えてくれていない。
そんなことないよ。ここでは何でも叶うの。見て、ここには優しいママだっている。
Gold butterflies gathered behind Maria, forming into a kindly smiling Aunt Rosa. After smiling sweetly at me, it became golden petals and crumbled.
ここでは何だって生み出せるの。エンジだって生み出せるよ。バトラだって、ジョージお兄ちゃんだって、ジェシカお姉ちゃんだって。いくらでも呼び出せるよ。みんな優しくしてくれるよ。エンジェもおいでよ。一緒に遊ぼう。
Sorry, One-chan.
作太郎は
Yeah, see? You slowly coming to a bit of a realization there? Upon hearing Sakutaro's name, One-chan looked like she was choking.
よせ。その名を口にするな。
Just, I'm pretty sure she's like, listen, if you're not gonna come back and finish that game up, then I'm just gonna, force you to it. Beato's expression changed as well, and she hugged Maria, guarding her shoulders. Sakutaro's name was still taboo for One-chan.
どうして口にしちゃいけないの？マリアお姉ちゃんの一番の親友の名前よ。どうしてその親友をこの素敵な黄金鏡に招いてあげないの？どうしてこの何でも願いの叶う黄金鏡では作太郎だけ呼び出すことができないの？
それは良いのだぞ、マリア。 作太郎のことを思い出さなくても。
作太郎はママに殺されたんだよ。
Maria Onechan flew into a rage with a terrible expression on her face. Surprised by that voice, the butterflies throughout the garden flew up, blowing around like a typhoon of flower petals.
ええ、知ってるわ。ローザおばさんが大切な作太郎のぬいぐるみを引き裂いたわ。
Gotta hit them with the cold, hard truth. Maria's scream became a storm that violently scattered the golden petals and leaves. It truly was a storm of gold.
やめよやめよやめよやめよ。
Yamero,
なぜマリアの心の傷を再び引き裂こうとするのか。わらわとマリアの大切な親友の眠りを汚すな。
ならどうしてその大切な親友をあなたの魔法で蘇らせてあげないの？
それができるものならやっている。しかしあのぬいぐるみはローザによる手作りの品。そのたった一つが引き裂かれた魔法的意味は。
ごまかさないで。どうして作太郎が蘇らせられないか。答えは一つだろ。あなたが本当の魔女じゃないからよ。
蘇らせられるとも。わらわの魔法でいくらでもこうして蘇らせられるとも。作太郎でこの庭園を埋めることだってできようぞ。
ええ、できるでしょうね。あなたの魔法では。でもあなたの生み出した作太郎は決してお姉ちゃんには見えない。どうしてか分かってるでしょ？もう一度言うわ。あなたが本当の魔女でないからなのよ。
やめて！どうしてエンジェはそんなひどいことばかり言うの？ベアとはたくさん魔法が使えるよ。とても素敵な魔女なんだよ。作太郎だけは蘇らせられなかったけど、他のことなら何だってできるの。だから作太郎だけは我慢できるの？
ううん、お姉ちゃん、それは違うわ。魔女にできないことなんてないの。それができない時点でベアトリーチェは本当の魔女じゃないわ。
それは違うよ。作太郎のよりしろのぬいぐるみはママの手作りの特別なものだから。
it still doesn't stop. It still doesn't stop you or anyone to with capable magic to imagine the vessel itself or think of it.
だから蘇らせられないの？ベアトリーチェのあなたの魔法はそんなにも不便なの？
ならばそなたなら作太郎を蘇らせられるというのか。 そなたの魔法ならばそれができるというのか。
できるわ。
She's like,
なんだと。
she's like, huh?
マリアお姉ちゃん、私が本当の魔法を見せてあげるわ。私がサク太郎を蘇らせてあげる。
本当？ベアトリーチェもできなかったんだよ。本当に？
ええ、できるわ。その代わり約束して、私がサク太郎を蘇らせてあげたなら。この黄金鏡から出て行きなさい。
That's the one condition.
そんなことは許さぬ。ここはわらわとマリアの世界。マリアがいなくなったら壊れてしまう。
The minimum number of humans it takes to create a universe is 2. Otherwise, that world is destroyed. To drag out the witch, shut away in the Golden Land, I'll have to destroy this world.
そう、それこそがあなたが魔女でない証拠よ。本当の魔女なのね。宇宙は一人で生み出せるのよ。マリアージュ・ソルシエル魔女同盟。この同盟の存在自体があなたが魔女でないことの証になっている。
嫌だ。マリアは渡さぬ。そなたは嫌いだ。今すぐに帰れ。ここから出て行け。
勝手にみんなをゲームに引きずり込んでおいて、自分は機嫌一つで飽きたり追い出したり。なんて自分勝手なの。見なさい、ベアトリーチェ。そしてマリアお姉ちゃん、これが本当の魔法なのよ。
本当にサク太郎を蘇らせられるの？
できるわけがない。
Well, that's a different expression right there.
ここはわらわとマリアの二人だけの黄金鏡。部外者のそなたに使える魔法など一つもない。今のそなたには蝶一匹生み出すことさえかなわぬわ。
静かにしてベアト。ヘンジェを邪魔しないで。
Is one of the similar to hold, let her cook. When Maria yelled, the storm suddenly stopped and the area returned to silence. The scene, as a massive number of golden petals that had been blown upwards quietly drifted down, was fantastical, as though a golden snow was falling. Maria, thinking about this unlikely if only miracle, had unconsciously joined her hands together as though praying. Beato watched Maria do this, her heart racing. If the extremely unlikely were to happen, Maria would... this world would. But it's unthinkable, absolutely impossible. That stuffed animal, which had been the only one in the world, was torn apart and thrown away, and not a thread remained. Reviving it was certainly and absolutely impossible. This is my golden land. A world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot exist.
できるものならやってみろ。 後ろ見やエンジ
That's the spirit. At Beato's scream-like cry, the world lost its sound. I slowly recited the incantation for true magic.
さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい。マリアの親友の作太郎。あなたがどんな姿をしていたのか、思い出してごらんなさい。あなたがどんなに愛くるしいぬいぐるみだったのか、思い出してごらんなさい。
Expressions of shock rose to both of their faces. Then, pushing Beato's elbow aside, Maria dashed forward.
太郎
And then a miracle has occurred. Okay, look at that.
作太郎
Then, she clung to us both.
大丈夫。作太郎は消えないよ。
ウリュウマリアただいま作太郎作太郎作太郎会いたかったよ
It was unmistakably that stuffed animal lion, Sakutara. Its softness, its texture, its stitches, its everything, Maria had forgotten. But the instant she hugged that stuffed animal, it all came back to her vividly. It all came back to her senses as well.
ウリュウマリアただいま作太郎作太郎体は平気なのどこも痛くないあんなにひどいことされたのにどこも平気なのウリュウエンジェが魔法で蘇らせてくれたから全然平気なの
A,
よかったよかった
a miracle foretold.
おかえり作太郎もうマリアといつまでも一緒だよ永遠に一緒だよだから僕を
Has there like anything updated when it comes to tips? No. Oh, so we're on the very last chapter. Is it? Is it the last chapter? Because last chapter was their journey's endpoint. Now it's Uchiromiya Ange. This time Ange gonna take over and fix up the mess. So
離さないでね離さないよ永遠に
then, still hugging Sakutara, she looked up at me with tear-filled eyes.
ありがとうエンジェエンジェの魔法はすごいどうして作太郎を蘇らせることができたのベアトにもできなかったのに
Good question. Is it one of the quotes that said, "Without love, it cannot be seen," or "Your magic was not, you didn't believe hard enough"? Hmm.
ありえぬ。ありえぬ。どうしてわらわの黄金鏡でわらわ以外の人間が魔法を使えるのか。こんなことは断じてありえぬ。
何をうろたえているのよ、ベアトリーチェ。これが魔法でしょ。
魔法のわけがない。ここはわらわの黄金鏡。
This is my golden land,
わらわ以外の魔法は絶対に存在できない世界。
a world where magic that isn't mine certainly cannot
そ
exist.
してわらわの魔法で作太郎を蘇らせることはできなかった。
And my magic was not able to revive Sakutaro.
できるはずがないのだ。そのぬいぐるみは特別なぬいぐるみ。
That stuffed animal was a special stuffed animal.
ローザが娘の誕生日のために作った世界でたった一つの。
Rosa made it for her daughter's birthday, and in the entire world only... Oh, she choked.
ね、魔法でしょ。
With this miracle that she could not possibly accept, Beato understood all of my magic. She looked at Maria and Sakutaro, innocently frolicking around, looked at me, and then fell to her knees, with even her hands pressed to the ground, and cried.
ベアトリーチェ、これは本当に魔法なんだよね。魔法なんだよね。ベアトリーチェ。
魔法であるぞ。それこそが本当の魔法であるぞ。
どうしてベアトにもできない魔法をエンジが使えるの？どうしてエンジすごい。エンジはすごい魔女。マリアなんかよりもずっとすごい本当の魔女だよ。
ええ、そうよ、お姉ちゃん。私は反言の魔女ヘンジェ。私に蘇らせられないものはないわ。
すごいよ、すごい。反言の魔法って一番難しいってベアとも言ってたのに。エンジはすごい。本当の大魔女なんだ。
At that time, Maria's and Sakutaro's forms flashed gold, and the forms of the two became golden flower petals that crumbled away. As the two became a golden wind and swirled together, they left for some other peaceful place, not here. Beato had, as promised, banished Maria from the Golden Land.
さようなら、マリアお姉ちゃん。そしていつまでもお幸せに。大丈夫よ。お姉ちゃんの世界にも必ずあなたはいるわ。でもそれは あなたのことじゃない。
but that doesn't refer to you.
よかったな、マリア。わらわはそなたの親友としてその再会を
From the
心
bottom,
より祝福するぞ。
it makes it sound like you're celebrating, but at the same time, like the look on her face looks like she felt defeated from this. On Beato's face was a mixture of what was probably every expression a human could muster. It was joy, anger, and sadness.
それが魔法の根源よね。愛がなければ、悲しみがなければ、怒りがなければ、魔法は見えない。
Without love, magic cannot be seen. Without sadness, magic cannot be seen. Without anger, magic cannot be seen. And we're all together. The ground shook, an earthquake. It gradually summoned greater and greater fixtures and began to tear Beatrice's final paradise apart. Golden butterflies fluttered about, trying to escape, but there was nowhere to escape to, and Beatrice was the same. The golden land began to crumble away. The earth crumbled downwards like a floor falling through, and Beatrice was sucked into the depths of a jet-black darkness. Then she was mercilessly slammed against the jet-black floor. It was a dimly lit smoking room. There was no door to exit by, and while there was a shadow, it let no light into Beatrice's shadowy smoking room. Even though Beato was moaning from the pain of being slammed against that cold, hard floor, she shakily rose to her feet. There was a seat there, and the game table, still just as it had been when she'd left it. The game board also remained in the same state that Beato had left it in.
そこがあなたの席よ。座りなさい。
わらわに座るべき席はここしかないということなのか。
Beato put a hand against their own seat and laughed sadly.
勝つか負けるか、あなたに与えられるのはそれだけよ。それに行き着く過程での引き分けは許されるでしょう。でも中断して投げ出すことだけは許さない。勝って生き残るか、負けて消え去るか、そのどちらかになるまであなたはその席を立つことなんて許されない。それが魔女のゲームのホストである黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの唯一の務めでしょ。
Laughing weakly, Beato sat in that seat. Then she rested her elbows and covered her face with both hands, showing off a smile with nothing but her mouth.
勝てぬゲームを逃げることは許されぬか。ならばよかろう。わらわが負けるまで繰り返そうではないか。
何よ気弱な。勝ちなさいよ。あなたの最善手を尽くしなさい。あなたが始めたゲーム、あなたには最善手を指す義務がある。いい加減に優柔不断にふざけるのはやめて。
At that time, there was a violent sound. Beato felt a cold, pathetic sensation on her leg.
捕まえた。やっと捕まえたわよ、ペアと。
おや、大ラムダデルタ教ではないか。まだおられたとはな。
Beato's foot was caught in an ice-cold steel shackle, tying her to the chair she sat in. She would no longer be able to escape from this seat. You know, on second thought, she could just like turn into a cloud of butterflies and do that, but you know, I'm pretty sure her current condition is not capable of doing so.
もう逃げられないんだからね。私こう見えてもしつこいの。意外でしょ？
自覚がなかった方が意外であるわ。
あんたには中座も中断も許されてないのよ。永遠に戦うのよ。勝つためにね。負けたくはないでしょ？負けたらどんな素敵な世界に叩き落とされるかちょっぴりだけ覗いてみたい？大丈夫よ。勝てるわよ。この大ラムダデルタ教があんたが勝つまでつきっきりで永遠に面倒を見てあげるから。
Looking after you constantly. No words.
しかし戦いたくともわらわの向かいに対戦相手はおらぬぞ。大丈夫よ。バトラーを見つけてきたわ。
Oh, that's okay. Your opponent that you've been going up against the whole earlier is I found it. When Berncastle appeared and clapped her hands, Badler appeared from the sky and plopped into the opposite chair. Badler's eyes were slightly open, but there was no sparkle in them, almost like a doll's. Without one of the pillars that established his soul, he had fallen into the depths of darkness, and had been drifting about all this time. He should have then scattered and disappeared like mist. Berncastle had managed to scrap him together. It's incredible that she managed to bring him back into a human form. However, even though his flesh had returned, his soul had not. It had been blown away by Beatrice after having its existence denied. It wouldn't come back easily.
バトラもこの戦いを逃げないの。あんたに勝つまでね。勝ち目がなくなってきたからって全て投げ出して逃げるなんて、そんな無粋を許しはしない。彼だってそんなことを望んではいないわ。でしょ、後ろ宮バトラー。
Badler didn't answer. His heart was still dead. His eyes wavered slightly at the question, but he couldn't answer.
バトラー、しっかり。あなたはここにいるわよ。そして敵は目の前にいる。戦って勝つために。
Badler lazily repeated that, speaking incoherently. He'd come back. The wound he bore on his soul was no small thing. That was only natural. Beatrice had woven her red, and he had been denied. He had learned that the mother he'd respected was not his birth mother, and he didn't know who he was.
自分は後ろ宮バトラではない。
バカな こと言ってんじゃないわ。あんたは他の誰でもない後宮バトラよ。誰が認めようと否定しようと、あなたがそれを信じなさい。あなたの世界はね、あなただけが作れるのよ。あなたが後宮バトラである世界を失わないで。
じゃあ俺は誰なんだよ。おふくろの子じゃないんだぜ。俺はどこから生まれてきたんだよ。
Badler asked that question as his eyes, which still hadn't regained their sparkle, stared lazily up at the ceiling. Of course, she answered right away.
ええ、そうね。レアトが赤き真実で宣言したわ。だから私も宣言する。後宮バトラは後宮アスムの息子ではないわ。
Ushiromiya Badler is not Ushiromiya Asumu's son.
なれば我がゲームの対戦相手の資格はないではないか。ベアトリーチェに復唱要求。後宮バトラは後宮金蔵の孫ではない。
As Beato wrinkled her forehead, a painful-looking smile rose to her face.
復唱拒否ね。レアトが宣言した2つの赤き真実。バトラはアスムの息子ではない。
You are not Asumu's son.
そして金蔵の孫であるバトラにしか対戦相手の資格がない。
No one except Kinzo's grandchild Badler is qualified to be her opponent.
これに矛盾せずにバトラに資格を認められるのは以下の仮説よ。これが私の青き真実。聞きなさい。
Let's hear it.
ベアとの対戦相手の資格は金蔵の孫である後宮バトラであって、
The one who is qualified to be Beato's opponent is Ginzo's grandchild, Ushiromiya Badler.
アスムの息子であるか否かは問題ではない。
And whether that person is Asumu's son or not is not an
す
issue.
なわちあなたはアスムの息子でなくても金蔵の孫であることはできる。
In other words, you can be Kinzo's grandchild even if you are not Asumu's son,
ルドルフの息子でさえあるならば。
as long as you are Rudolph's son.
くだらない言葉遊びよね。
青き真実有効よ。ベアト、赤き真実での反論は？赤き真実で受けられないならバトラの対戦資格は何の問題もない。
Well, Badler was still out of it. He still couldn't really understand what she was saying for him. But even so, his spirit was starting to come back, bit by bit.
じゃあ俺は誰なんだよ。
しっかりなさい。あんたは後宮バトラ。確かにアスムお母さんがあなたを産んだわけではないかもしれない。でもだから何？あなたにとって母親であることに何も変わりはないでしょ。例えばあなたにとって後宮エンジェは何？血は繋がってないかもしれないけど、それでも妹でしょ。血じゃないでしょ。絆でしょ。
It's not about what is blood related or not. It's all about the family bonds.
そりゃそうさ。エンジェは血がつながってなくても 妹だ。
赤で言って。エンジェは妹だって言って。
エンジェは俺の妹だ。
Ange is my little sister.
あ、言えた。
You see? His confidence is slowly regaining. She hugged the battler, who was still out of it and slumped in his chair, strongly from behind. So much that it hurt.
どういう事情でアスムお母さんがあなたの生みのお母さんじゃないかはわからない。
I can't even tell if I can't even tell which one is the mother
でも
anymore.
あなたは今日まで、そして今でも母親だと信じてるでしょ。世の中にはね、母親さえ家族さえいない人だって大勢いるのよ。アスムお母さんはあなたを寂しがらせたことがある？ないでしょ。あなたの平和だった家族を簡単に捨て去らないで。あんたは6年も家族の元から離れてたから家族の絆が希薄すぎるのよ。もっともっと家族の絆を強く感じて、思い出して。アスムお母さんのためにもこんなくだらない魔女の妄言で愛情を失わないで。
そうさ。おふくろはいつだって俺の味方だったんだ。ここはどこだよ。くれよ、帰りてえよ。俺の家族は、みんなはどこなんだよ。
The light still hadn't returned to Badler's eyes, but tears appeared.
お家であなたの妹が帰りを待ってるわ。せめてあなただけでも帰ってあげないと。彼女はいつまでも一人ぼっち。妹のためにもどうか魔女のゲームに勝って。
エンジェ、俺の妹。でもよ、わからねえんだ。どうして俺はベアトとこんなわけのわかんねえ残酷なゲームを永遠に繰り返さなきゃならねえんだ。もう嫌だ。
なら早くこんなゲームに決着をつけてお家へ帰りなさい。後ろ宮バトラー、いつまでこんなところで遊んでいるの。妹が帰りを待ってるわよ。
That's right. Badler had been caught up in this strange game before he even knew it. And still unable to understand why he was fighting, he had been constantly sucked into the witch's pace, played with, and made to fight. That should have been his most simple and first question. Because he didn't understand that, he had lost his purpose in fighting. That's why my voice won't reach Badler's ears. Instead of a vague purpose, like winning against a witch or because he couldn't forgive her, he has to be aware of a purpose for which he must win.
そうだ。帰りたい。親父やおふくろ。エンジェのところに帰りたい。もう嫌だ。ここは嫌だ。もう魔女は嫌だ。ゲームも殺人も嫌だ。嫌だ。嫌だ。
バトラの魂が戻りかけてる。
でも あとちょっとが届いていない。もう嫌でしょ。なら家族の元へ帰るためにも戦ってメアトリーチェを打ち破って帰ってきて。
嫌だ。もう魔女は嫌だ。ベアトも嫌だ。どいつもこいつも嫌だ。お前も嫌だ。お前だってどうせきっと魔女の仲間だ。いつまた裏切るかもわからない。何も信用できない。赤くない言葉は何も信用できない。
I can't trust anything. I can't trust any words that aren't red.
俺に構うな。構うな。
Badler's soul howled. She hugged his head from behind, strong enough that it hurt.
早く帰ってきて、お兄ちゃん。
Hurry up and come home, Oni-chan. Would you look at that? Ange crying so hard to the point that she needs Badler to come back to his senses and win that fight. There is definitely the red right here. The red truce that can pick up, that can regain the morale to win back and go home.
私を一人ぼっちにしないで。
Don't leave me all alone.
お前、誰？
私よ、エンジェよ。
It's me. It's Ange.
お父さんもお母さんもお兄ちゃんも誰も帰ってこない。寂しいよ。
So lonely.
お願いだから早く帰ってきて。
エンジェ。お前、エンジェだったのか。
そうよ、エンジェよ。誰も帰ってこない世界の後宮エンジェ。
The Ushiromiya Anji of world where no one comes home.
私の家族はすべてあの日の六軒島から帰ってこない。目の前のあの魔女が家族をすべて、お兄ちゃんさえも奪い取ってしまった。お兄ちゃんだけがあいつをやっつけられる。あいつをやっつけて、そして家族を取り戻して、そして私のところに帰ってきて。
Then come home to me, Baka, all that shit.
ペアトが俺の家族を。
そうとも。逃げも隠れもせぬわ。わらわが後宮エンジェから家族を奪った。バトラはわらわの玩具よ。
Oh boy, that face. Yep. The good old smug of her.
その父親も母親もすべて玩具よ。そなたには返さぬわ。永遠に一人ぼっちで帰らぬ家族の帰りを待ってさまよい続けるがいいわ。
From Anji's arms that held him, the painful, sad days that had been experienced by his lonely little sister flowed into Badler. Because he'd been playing around in a place like this, his little sister had been left all by herself, had been forced to endure all that pain.
エンジエンジくそ、俺は何をやってたんだ。ありがとうなエンジ。お兄ちゃんは大切なことをずっと忘れていた。
It took you long enough. You're like 4 episodes in. Badler tried to turn around, but Ange was hanging onto his head with an incredible force, so he couldn't turn back. Was it sweat? Hot drops were splashing on the nape of Badler's neck. What they were, he knew from holding Ange's arm that clung to him. Because it stained Badler's hand, his fingers red.
エンジ大丈夫か。おい。
It dripped and splashed. He didn't know what was going on. Badler didn't know because he couldn't turn around. But the hot drops that stained his entire back were surely blood.
お兄ちゃんを助けるために、ここに来るために、唯一守らなきゃいけないルールがあったの。それがこれ。お兄ちゃんに私がエンジェだと知られてしまうこと。辛かったよ。お兄ちゃんが目の前にいるのに、それを口にできないなんて。このルールさえ守れば、ずっと永遠にお兄ちゃんのそばにいられるはずだった。お兄ちゃんと一緒に魔女と戦うゲームを永遠に遊べるはずだった。
Oh God. All eternity.
でもそれじゃダメ。お兄ちゃんは帰らなきゃ。お家であなたの妹が待っているもの。それは私のことではないけれど、それであなたの妹は救われる。
エンジエンジこんなに違う。こんなに。
He wanted to turn around, but Ange was gripping his head too tightly. However, judging by the blood that was pouring out in Ange's pained breathing, he realized that something seriously wrong was happening to her right now.
気にしないで。私は所詮駒だから。あのね、チェスではね、サクリファイスって言うんだって。
Sacrifice. So she wasn't murdered by someone else, but not only she sacrificed herself as a piece, she sacrificed her heart and soul to give Badler back, to snap Badler back to his senses.
サクリなんだって。 そんなことはどうでもいい。早く手当てを。この手を一度離すんだ、エンジェ。
サクリファイスとは捨て駒のこと。戦略的展望のためにわざと損を承知で駒を見捨てることを。
In chess, the ultimate goal is victory. So, if it can bring you to victory in the end, there's nothing wrong with sacrificing a few individual pieces. Ange had coolly made a decision. She had been taught over and over again that she was a piece, not a player. In order to act like a piece and save Badler, right now, she would have to become a sacrificial piece herself. Badler had to know his purpose in this witch's game couldn't be something as abstract as finishing off the witch. He had to win the game, release himself, and bring his family back home. Why? Because he had a family, a little sister, who was waiting for him to come home. A being was created so that Ushiromiya Ange's voice could reach you. That's me, Ange Beatrice. I'll sacrifice the peace I am to give to you the will to fight, to give you purpose. My purpose isn't to play with you in a witch's game for all eternity. I came to bring you Ushiromiya Ange's mourning and sadness. That is my unshakable purpose.
エンジェ、エンジェ、うわー。
The white, thin arm that held Badler became pale and transparent, almost like wax. But even so, the fresh blood stained it so cruelly.
私はもう消えちゃうけれど、お兄ちゃんは頑張って戦ってきっと私のところへ帰ってきてね。待ってるよ、ずっと。お兄ちゃんをもっといっぱい手助けしてあげるつもりだったのに何もできなかった。ごめんね。
いいんだ。お前は俺に教えてくれたじゃねえか。どうして俺が勝たなくちゃならないか。そして俺が絶対に勝ってお前のところに帰ってやらなくちゃって。俺は何をこんなところでぼんやりと遊んでいたんだ。ああ、もうこんなところで遊んでなんかいないぞ。
No more goofing around this time.
帰るからな、帰るからな。お土産持ってきっと帰るからな。約束する。
いらないから一つだけ約束して。
なんだよ、何でも約束する。
What's the promise?
この手を今から離すね。痛かったでしょ。ギュッとしててごめんね。私は大丈夫だから振り返らなくていいから。だから最後にお兄ちゃんの一番かっこいいところを見せて。席を立って目の前の魔女を指さしてゲームの
That's all you gotta do. Angie's hand slid and disappeared behind me. There were bloody fingerprints left behind, blurred by her fingernails, but I turned around right away to take care of Angie's wounds.
Ange! エンジェ。
ああ、振り向いちゃダメって約束したのに。
エンジェ。どこへ？
Behind my chair, as though about 10 watermelons packed with blood had been smashed, and there was a sticky, pulpy mountain. And around that mountain of blood and minced meat, the clothes and shoes Anji had been wearing lay crumpled as though they'd been taken off and thrown away, as though just the human's insides had been pulverized and tossed there like scrap, as though Angie, who had been standing there until a second ago, had been crushed.
エンジェ。エンジェはどこだよ。エンジェはどこに消えたんだよ。おい！エンジェはどこに消えたんだよ。
The two young-looking witches said nothing, and just silently looked at the mountain of blood and meat and clothes, but I didn't want to accept it. I definitely didn't want to accept it.
わらわはそなたの正面でずっと見ていた。そなたの後ろでエンジェがどうなっていくか。
お前は知ってるのか。エンジェはどこへ行ったんだ。
生きながら焼けたでっかいペンチで一つが一つが親指大の大きさに全身の肉を引きちぎって捨てていくんだよ。
Pinch by pinch.
わらわは見ていた。魔女の釜で真っ赤に焼かれた無数の残忍な工具をエンジェを後ろから一つまみ一つまみ肉をついばみひねり引きちぎり細切れにするのを見ていた。
Killed dog
エン
just
ジェ
like
は
that.
誇っていい。兄と最後の言葉を交わすためにその苦痛の喘ぎを最後まで耐えたことを誇っていい。
As if something like that could have happened. But on top of that mountain of flesh and clothes, what had fallen there was without a doubt what she had been wearing on her head, those pink jeweled hair ornaments. To be honest, I thought they were a bit too childish for her and didn't suit her, so I remembered them well. Why did Angie wear such a cheap hair ornaments all the time? No, the thought that this is Angie couldn't possibly be,
ベアとも正直ね。バトルには見えてなかったんだから。蝶々になって飛んでいったとか言ってごまかしちゃえばいいのに。
お前らもそれを見ていたのか。
mean, considering that Ange is the future Ange as of now is a game piece, her freaking spirit just, disappeared away. Well, for the time being.
エンジがバラバラに引きちぎられていくところを見ていたのかよ。見てて、そんな平然とした顔を知ってたのかよ。
I think this is a good time to stop here for now. Alright. What have we learned today? Ange straight up carried through the entire part, was able to break Beatrice's golden land with the power of reviving Sakutaro with her methods of magic, and sacrifices blood, sweat, and tears to regain Battler's morale. So, let's stay tuned. Will Battler... let's see if the game will resume. Or, well, who knows? The game will resume and, maybe will there be a win or a lose situation. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later. Have a good one.